Hello, I hope you are well. This is going to be a book review of the Korean novel Welcome to the Hyunam-Dong Bookshop. It was originally published in 2022 in South Korea, and I of course have read the English translation of it. So get yourself a hot drink because I have a lot of topics to talk about with this book. If you have watched my vlogs, you'll know this has taken me such a long time to read. This is a 300-page novel. So I'm just going to take a sip of my drink. And let's get straight into it. So this is about a woman who she's given up her previous life, but when the book starts we don't know what her previous life was, and it just goes into she was once married, and then I'm not going to give like spoilers in this. So she was married, that didn't work out, you find that out really early on, and then she gave up her successful career that she was supposed to have to open a bookshop. And it's about the people that come into the bookshop. So a man comes into the bookshop and starts working as a barista in the bookshop, and then another lady comes in the bookshop and she just starts crocheting and knitting. And so the woman who owns the bookshop wants to ask her, like, why are you doing this? And we find out about her life and what happened in her life. There then is a woman who she owns the roastery that is for the coffee beans, and so she obviously provides the coffee beans for the coffee shop, and there's loads of other characters within it. And the themes of the book within this, which it's kind of marketed as, is something has happened to the bookshop owner in her past life. We're going to find out the trauma that she has faced and why now she has turned her back on the kind of corporate successful lifestyle to go to this really small neighborhood and just open up a bookshop, and how she's finding like joy and peace and happiness in that. I didn't find anyone's story very traumatic at all. I didn't actually find it very interesting, the people's backstories. It was just like they had the parental pressure to climb the corporate ladder, and they were saying that's very much Korean culture. This is set in Seoul, and that's what really drew me to it, because I really want to visit Seoul so badly. It looks so beautiful, and so this book is set there, and I just thought, oh, bookshop, and then it's set in Seoul, oh my god, I'm gonna love it. And everyone's story was just very similar, that their parents, there's this Korean cultural thing of your parents kind of push you to get a very successful corporate job, and then once you get that job you should be happy, and that's your life kind of sorted, and that there's different people in it, men and women, and they have done that or tried to do that, and they haven't found happiness in that, and they've found happiness in what would be considered a much more simpler life, and that's where they've really found their purpose within life. At the end, everyone's story is wrapped up, so everyone's kind of gets a happy ending, and you kind of get that feel when you're like 50 pages in. You're kind of thinking, oh, there's not a huge amount happening within this. We're finding out little tidbits about people's lives, but nothing massive and major has happened in any of people's lives, like nothing traumatic. Like I was expecting a big traumatic event in the book. There was no trauma. It was just about how your parents' expectations of you might not meet what your expectations for yourself, and you might be at conflict with your parents because of that. You might reach your dreams, get what you thought you wanted, and then get there and realise this isn't what I really wanted, or reevaluate your dreams because things don't work out and realise, oh, I really thought I wanted that thing, but I never really wanted it. I just felt the pressure of wanting it, and maybe working in this cafe, working in a roastery, working in a bookshop, maybe all these different things actually I would have more purpose and meaning for, because I'm passionate about coffee, because I'm passionate about books. And in the book there is a lot of Instagram posts, so it will just have an Instagram post exactly as you would post it on Instagram with all the hashtags. And she also holds author interviews, so that would just be in the format of just a Q&A author interview, and it felt like there were a lot of what could have been articles in this novel that didn't really fit into the novel, but they were in the author interviews. So it felt like the author was trying to tell you a message about the book industry in general, about book blogging, about are authors the same as their writing style, are bloggers the same as their writing style and in real life, or are they two completely different people? They cut two different personas that they click into. The importance of not pushing yourself for a book that you don't want to read, the importance of reading, the future of reading, as less people seem to be reading books. But it felt like all of these could have been on Substack. Do you know what I mean? They could have just been this the author of this book's inner thoughts in a series of articles, but to put them in the book I didn't really get anything from it, and that's my thing with it, is I didn't get anything from it. But I want to be fair to the book, which is that if you're looking for a book where nothing traumatic happens, not a lot happens, but it's just kind of surrounding this bookshop, and it has book reviews within this, because she's the owner of the bookshop is reading books and then trying to pair books with certain people, so they might be going through something in their life, and so she's trying to pair a book with them that they might like. So there's like a teenage boy, and she says to him, you should read Catcher in the Rye, and it really kind of relates to his story. So if you're looking for something like that that's just fun, and you're thinking, Hannah, I don't want trauma, okay, my life is stressful enough, I've got enough trauma in my life, I don't need to be reading about it in a book, then this might be for you. Because I do realise, like, I read maybe quite disturbing books sometimes, and odd books I'm really drawn to, but for a lot of people, if you have a very stressful job, you might want to read to escape. And that escapism might just be, I don't want any murders, I don't want any traumatic past events coming up. I want a book that's interesting enough that there's like a bit of conflict in people's lives, but that I know at the end everyone's going to be okay, and it's just a nice kind of book to slip in and out of. Then this is 100% the book for you. But for me personally, I just didn't get it. I felt like the author interviews were within themselves articles, and I thought, why is this author trying to tell us this kind of opinions on stuff? I just write it in an article. I don't know why it had to be in the book. And then the Instagram posts, I found them quite jarring within it, because she would say, so the woman who was crocheting was making little like crochet things that you can use for washing up. So the woman was like, I'd like to donate these to the bookshop, and maybe you could give them to your customers. And then the next thing, it's like a post, an Instagram post announcing, we're going to be giving these away to our yeah, we know that, because she's just told you that before. It just felt like a lot of filler, and I just at one point thought, I don't know if I'm ever going to read another book again, because it took me so long. If you've watched my vlogs, you will know, how long have I been reading this? 300 pages, and really not a lot happens. But I suppose if you like the characters and you like this world, and you want a book that's just comforting that you can slip into, then this is the book for you, because it is kind of never ending like that. And everyone's stories, I kind of thought, isn't that just what the world is? Like that your parents have maybe an expectation for you or something, and then maybe you're not smart enough to live up to that, or maybe you don't want that for yourself, and so there is a bit of conflict there. Or maybe when you get your career goal and dream, it's not perfect, but in your head it was. Like, say you've always wanted to be a vet, and then you're smart enough, because you have to be very smart to be a vet, you're smart enough to be a vet, you pass all the exams, you're amazing. I'm sure then when you become a vet, even though it's always been your dream and you're really good at it and you're really academic and you're really smart, I'm sure there's stuff that vets are like, this is really annoying, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect how maybe emotionally taxing, or how many hours I'd have to work, or this just annoying protocol thing in the vet surgery, how that's annoying me. Like the idea that some people reach for their dreams and achieve it because they're like smart enough and things work out for them, and then they're just like perfectly happy. I was like, well, that's just not realistic. I think even people that you look at and you think have perfect lives will have problems. That someone in their family will have like a health problem or something. Their life won't be as perfect. So I just thought, isn't this just being a human? This idea that some people's lives are perfect and then some people are kind of lost. Isn't everyone just a bit lost? See my like son running around. It just wasn't for me. But if you're looking for a kind of cozy read where not a lot happens, this is for you. I'm just going to end it here. I think I've said everything I've got to say. So I'm going to end it. Oh my God. That's karma for being rude about this book. I'm gonna go. Feel free to subscribe. I do loads of vlogs of my life, loads of different videos. So I'm gonna end it here, and I will see you again very soon for another video.